Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin, Liber Primus, Chapter 4. This is Chapter 4's English exercise. As a review, let's go over some of the ablative case reasons, uses, jobs, or functions. So in this chapter, Chapter 4, we learned the ablative of location. The ablative of location. It's used with a preposition like in, which means in or on, and sub, which means under, beneath, underneath, like a submarine, to show where something is located. The ablative of location with a preposition like in or sub shows where something is located, like Caesar is in Gaul. In Gaul is a prepositional phrase. We have a preposition here, followed by a noun. The prepositional phrase in Gaul shows where the subject Caesar is located. He is in Gaul. Gaul's in the ablative case in Latin with the preposition in to show location, the ablative of location. The ablative of separation is used with a preposition like ab or ex to show away from where or whence. Where are we coming from? So Caesar is going from Gaul. Caesar is going from Gaul, away from Gaul. He is leaving from Gaul. So from Gaul is a prepositional phrase. We have the preposition from and then its noun Gaul. Shows away from which location. We're going from this location, from Gaul. The subject is moving away from this noun. In Latin, this noun will be in the ablative case with the preposition either ab, ex. There are a few others as well. The ablative of accompaniment is used with a preposition like cum to show alongside with the action of the verb goes. So Caesar is going to Gaul with Mark Antony. So with Mark Antony, that's a prepositional phrase, with the preposition, and then its noun Mark Antony. And it shows alongside whom the subject is doing the action of the verb, that action of going to Gaul. To Gaul, by the way, is an accusative of motion towards. So cum Marco Antonio. So all of these are in the ablative case. They use different prepositions and they show different things. Ablative of location shows location in a space. Ablative of separation shows movement away from a space. And ablative of accompaniment shows alongside or with whom someone does something. All right, let's look at these English sentences. We are to mark any prepositional phrases which answer the question to where, so an accusative of motion towards, by writing motion above the prepositional phrase. From where, so indicating separation, we should write separation above them, so that's an ablative of separation. We should write location above prepositions showing where, showing in what location. And we should write accomp, an abbreviation for accompaniment, when we find a prepositional phrase showing with whom, alongside whom, the action is happening. So the first one, number one, Caesar came from Rome. Caesar came from Rome, the prepositional phrase from Rome. Caesar's moving away from Rome, so that would be separation. So write separation above the prepositional phrase from Rome, and that would be in the ablative case in Latin, the ablative of separation. Number two, the boy was with his brother. The boy was with his brother. So the verb is was, that's a linking verb. So we are linking this subject, the boy, because that's who was with his brother. This subject boy, we have a linking verb here. This is a predicate, not a predicate nominative, but a predicate. We have a subject, and then we have this predicate. Predicates can be prepositional phrases, like with his brother. We could also say the boy was in Britain, the boy was in Gaul, the boy was in Africa. So another prepositional phrase. This is an ablative of accompaniment. You should write accomp, an abbreviation for accompaniment, above with his brother. 3, she came out of the forest. She came out of the forest. So this is the prepositional phrase, out of the forest. And that is showing separation. So ablative case, separation, out of the forest. Number 4, he ran out of the farmhouse and into the woods. So out of the farmhouse, go ahead and write separation. That would be an ablative of separation, AX plus the ablative farmhouse. And, conjunction and, into the woods, into the woods. Prepositional phrase, into, not just in the woods, that would be an ablative of location, but this is into the woods. This would be accusative motion. This is motion. Motion towards, so it would be in plus the accusative, in silvas, into the woods. 5, Alexander marched from Macedonia to Athens. So Alexander's the subject, marched is the verb. He marched from Macedonia. This would be separation. Macedonia, so ablative of separation. To Athens. He marched to Athens. This is going to be an accusative of motion. Motion towards. We are going motion towards to Athens. 6, I can't see where you're going. I can't see where you're going. This one can be a little bit tricky. So I can't see where you're going. Where? It's actually to where. There's an implied to here. So to where. I can't see to where you're going. So we want to where. Go ahead and write motion above this. Motion. This would be an accusative, motion towards, to where you are going. 7, are you in the room? So in the room is the prepositional phrase. In the room, that would be an ablative of location. Go ahead and write location above in the room. Number 8, he came from home and went to the store. So he came from home above the prepositional phrase from home. Write separation because we're moving away from home, and that would be in the ablative in Latin. And he went to the store above the prepositional phrase to the store. Go ahead and write motion. That would be the accusative motion towards with the preposition ad, ad in Latin. 9, she went with her friends to the city. She went with her friends above the prepositional phrase with her friends. Write accomp, the abbreviation for accompaniment. That's an ablative of accompaniment. Cum amicis, cum plus the ablative. And she went to the city, to the city. Another prepositional phrase showing motion, motion, to the city. So that would be an accusative, ad, ad plus the accusative. Number 10, the gods came from the sky. The gods came from the sky. So they came from the sky. You should write separation above this prepositional phrase, and that would be in the ablative case in Latin. 11, he went into the farmhouse with them. So he went into the farmhouse. This would be motion, motion, the accusative case in Latin with the preposition in villam, motion. With them, that would show accompaniment. That would be an ablative of accompaniment. Cum plus the ablative. 12, Marcus is in the farmhouse. Marcus is in the farmhouse. So where is Marcus? Where is Marcus located? In the farmhouse. Prepositional phrase, write location, in the farmhouse. In plus the ablative case, showing location. 13, the boy is going into the forum. The boy is going into the forum. Into the forum, that is showing motion, motion. In plus the accusative case, showing motion, movement into. 14, she won't go to Rome. No, she just won't. She won't go to Rome. To Rome, that is motion. Motion. So that would be in the accusative case. Accusative motion towards. 15. He carries the grain with his friend. Well, what a good friend. So with his friend, that prepositional phrase, with his friend, that would be an ablative of accompaniment. So abbreviate that accomp. For 16, they marched from the river. From the river, prepositional phrase showing separation. Separation. And that would be in the ablative case in Latin. A or ab or ex plus the ablative. 17, he led the troops to the field of battle. So he led the troops to the field. So to the field, that would be motion. Motion to the field. Ad, ad plus the accusative. And 18, the troops fought on the field of battle. They fought on the field. So on the field, that would be location, an ablative of location, on the field. So if you're wondering why I did not include of battle in the last two, the field of battle, you'll find out in the coming chapter. Optime. Excellent. Very well done. Go ahead and move on now to the rest of the exercises in chapter 4. Valete omnes.